Hi, my name is Caitlin. I am a fashion reseller on the Depop and Poshmark apps. I love what I do. I'm really grateful for the position that I'm in today. I have been doing this for about a year. I've sold about 300 listings on those apps, though I do have some regulars that I know personally that just like contact me directly whenever they see something that they like. So I do get a lot of traffic through my regulars and I really appreciate that. So whenever I started, I felt like there was lots and lots and lots of information, but there wasn't any one definitive video where you're like, okay, this is what I need to know. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do today. I'm gonna try to go over what a good vintage buy would be. So going to talk about identifying vintage, different vintage pieces. We've got, sweaters and dresses and jeans and tops and all kinds of stuff over there that I've actually pulled from my stock because I felt like, they were really good examples, and I've got some fun ones in there. I've got some really good pieces. So I'm excited to nerd out and have an outlet for that finally, because my poor family, I feel so bad for them because they have to just listen to me talk. I'm so excited about this 80s prairie dress or whatever. And they're like, okay, even my older family members, I'm fixing my hair because it just looks so flat. Why do you look? Oh, that would be why. Oh, much better. I'm also in cosmetology school right now, but I am recording this during the coronavirus. So I'm not going to class right now, and nobody's going to class right now because the world is uncertain and terrifying. So I'm gonna make a YouTube video. That's what's happening today. So anyway, let's get into it. So one of my main things that I look at just very quickly is going to be the labels. So I have all of the fabulous items pulled. I'm so excited. Here we have a pink blouse by Le Blouse. And you see here it's got the embroidered tag and then the embroidered care tag and all that stuff right there. But the reason that I picked this up, aside from the fact that it was vintage, is because of this great collar. Look at it. Look at it. It's just so good. I'm losing my voice because I never talk because I'm always working from home. So, yeah, you're just going to have to bear with me. I apologize. I need to do something about that probably. Anyway, so we've got these great shoulder situations right here. There were shoulder pads at one point, but somebody took them out, but you still have this ruching up at the top. So one of those keywords that you want to use when you're selling vintage would be a gathered shoulder, balloon sleeve, puff sleeve, anything. So where it's, just got these big billowy sleeves, you could use that one. Statement collar, embroidered, all that fun stuff. So the more keywords the better when you're talking about vintage, because there's so much vintage out there that you need to have as many keywords in your descriptions as possible so that somebody who's looking for exactly what you have is going to be able to find it. So I really picked this up because not only is it vintage, but it also has a lot going on. So anything that's going to be a really good eye catcher, something that's going to stand out in the massive listings on whatever app you're on, And I just really love this shade of pink. It's definitely 80s because you have your embroidered collar, but you also have the fabric content. Fabric content was not included in clothing until sometime in the 80s. So that's about when that came from. But it's got like this great collar, and it's just, it's amazing. And it's just so, I don't know. I just get a kick out of stuff like this. So, you know, those describing words, very important. We have to use our good descriptors. So we've got an embroidered, baby pink, statement collar, pleated detail, long sleeve blouse, all of those. So I also have more examples for you. I'm trying to pull, because I feel like people didn't have enough examples for me in like the very beginning. Like I needed to know, I needed to see a lot of stuff that I could look at. I don't know. So that's what I'm trying to do. So here we have again our embroidered tag. Again, our embroidered tag with the fabric content. We've got shoulder pads. So if it's got shoulder pads, it's like 99.99% of the time going to be vintage from the 80s. Because I tell you what, that was, I mean, unless it's like hella modern, because they're just now coming back into style. So we've got our nice power shoulder. We've got an embroidered tie collar detail, bow collar detail. You can, I mean, tie it, not tie it. Nice big flowy long sleeves. We've got more pleated detailing. So all of those keywords, gotta have them. So if you find something that's vintage, and I mean, I feel like it's hard to sell things that don't stand out, that don't make me say, oh my God, that's like a really incredible piece, you know? And in Atlanta, I have a lot available to me, and some people don't get to be that picky, but I do. So I'm going to be. So, tags wise, I also wanted to talk about the ILGWU tag. So, International Ladies Garment Workers Union. You don't have to remember that. All you need to remember is that it looks like this. So this is a wedding dress, and I don't know if it was a good buy or not, but I'll show you in a second. So here's your tag, and you can see from like this handwritten business right here that it was made specifically for somebody, and they don't do these, what do you call this? These like triangular cuts on the, they don't do this anymore. Can you, yeah, there you go. So yeah, they don't do that anymore. That's another sign that it's vintage, is if it's got that weird kind of craft scissor-esque vibe. So I don't know if this was necessarily a good buy, but I think it is very pretty, and I personally really like the Victorian Revival stuff, and Victorian Revival is basically what it sounds like. It's during the 80s, that like pastel, lacy kind of situation. All of that stuff was kind of Victorian Revival. So you've got this really nice like high high lace neck, and you've got embroidered cameo looking situation. And of course we have the giant 80s sleeves, gotta have them, but like they're so soft and puffy, I just love them. And then we've got more embroidery down here. So like I feel like, you know, this is, as far as vintage wedding dresses go, I feel like this was a good buy. I don't know, I just thought it was really special and I wanted to get it. So maybe I'll get to wear it one day. Maybe. So, all right, so next we're going to talk about paper tags. So when I say paper tag, I mean this bad boy. So it's like papery. And it's made in the USA. Always a good sign for Levi's. And it's, what, 98% cotton? So they're high-rise, they're vintage. They're like mom jean type situation. So that's kind of the area you want to be looking in, or, you know, the specifics is 100% cotton, or like 98% cotton, made in the USA, and high-waisted, or, you know, whatever is in 20 years or whatever, I don't know. So here we have a pair of Wranglers, which also has the paper tag. And when it comes to Wranglers, you want to look out for this W and the Wrangler patch. And these are 100% cotton. Again, mom jeans, very cute, structured. I really like that they have, I don't know, these extra belt loops. I just think that those are neat. Anyway, as far as denim goes, that's pretty much the basics for that one. Made in the USA, sometimes, and 100% cotton. And most stuff that you're gonna find that's made in the USA is a pretty good chance of it being vintage, because most manufacturers are no longer in the US. So let's talk about construction. While we're talking about construction, I have for you this. She's from the 50s, and she comes with a matching belt. Isn't that nice? It's like really structured and just, it's like, I don't know, I really like little black dresses that have something else going on. So, how do I know that this is vintage? It's because we have a metal zip, embroidered tag, says Dallas. So anytime you see a city that's not, you know, like New York or LA or Milan or whatever, you have a pretty solid chance of that being a vintage item. So, and this dress is like fully lined. It's super nice. It's really small on me, so a very, very small person can maybe get it on. But I saved it because she's special, because she's old, and old things are special. So, more on the subject of construction, we have here this dress is from the 80s, and it's, I mean, just super 80s. So this pattern is amazing. And one of the ways that, multiple ways, this is just like hella vintage. This is fully vetted. So you've got shoulder pads, you've got our paper tag, you've got our embroidered tag, and then this extra like flap situation. I don't know why they ever did that. I think it's so strange. I mean, I'm sure that somebody will know. Whatever. I don't know. So, but it's also got these really great faceted looking buttons. So again, with those keywords, gotta have them, and always look for pockets. Pockets are vital. Let's see. And talk about just like styles and stuff that's gonna sell in general. We'll also talk about how you know it's vintage. So we've got our embroidered tag, and this is just, are you kidding? Like, this is so vintage, it ain't even funny. So it at one point came with a belt. I'm really kind of bummed that it no longer has the belt, but it does still have pockets. And all the buttons, all of these like really neat buttons. You lose one of those buttons, you are screwed. And it's like this super soft polyester satiny fabric, and you see a lot of stuff like this selling at places like Free People and Urban Outfitters and all that jazz. Always keep an eye out on what's trendy, as well as paying attention to what's trendy with just vintage, because sometimes those are different things. So we've also got this great pattern. Anything that has some kind of very typically 80s or 90s or 60s or 70s type patterns, those are always a pretty decent pickup. The skirt has pockets. It's a 3X. I did pick it up partially because of the size. So I like to have all sizes available in my shop, because you never know who wants a dope vintage item, and you don't want to pass them up because they're great. So this skirt's just, honestly, like, look at it, it's great. So, another good seller is Novelty sweaters, vintage ones. And this one is just a dream, like a literal dream. Because you get it? Because it's got like little clouds and junk. So it's, and it's, I can't stand it. So sweaters like this, when I say novelty sweaters, I mean, can you see what I'm talking about here, where it's very figural, and it's got a lot of like specific representation, I guess. So, and it's just, I mean, it's out there, man, and the details are great. So you have like this gold threading right here. All of these guys are beaded. All of these guys are sequined and beaded, and just, I mean, it's just impressive, honestly. It's an impressive piece of clothing. So, and it's in great condition, especially for a white sweater. Like, it looks amazing. So yeah, stuff like this, if you see any kind of sweaters that are like Halloween sweaters, Christmas sweaters do sell, but there's a lot of them. Thanksgiving sweaters, again, there's a lot of them. I think probably a Valentine's Day one would still be a good buy, but that's just an idea. And again, you have this embroidered tag. and embroidered tag. So, now this bad boy. So something that's really always a fun pickup for me is coats, like just really insane coats like this. And you find them in Atlanta. I don't know where you are, but I am very fortunate. Again, hashtag blessed. But this is from the 70s. It's got a dagger collar. Other than like this discoloration on the collar, and I ordered some stuff, so maybe I should be able to like buff that out or something. But it's otherwise in great condition. It's definitely from the 70s. These like super long trench coats, like crazy patterns, and I mean, if that's not 70s, I don't know what is. You know, it's great. And this is one of those where you don't even have to really look at it. So it says styled in California. So whenever it says like of California or of New York or styled in California, that's going to be an older vintage item, probably 70s or before. So it's just, I mean, it's amazing. I pulled this out of a church bus. There was this church that was having like a rummage sale, and you know churches get great stuff. Everybody always gives their good stuff to churches. So, another recent purchase was this set. I picked up this set because it is very much like a modern set, but it is vintage. It's new with tag. So if it's new with tag and vintage, that's dead stock. So we've got the skirt, and we've got like this Britney Spears like halter top situation. I mean, it's great. And I found another top. I didn't find the bottom that went with the other top, but the other top was black, but it's the same design. So this is just, it's a nice piece, honestly. It's leather, it's in great condition. You know, you find all kinds of crazy stuff at the thrift store. So, moving forward, here we have, now this is just, this thing is ridiculous. I picked this up, I was blown away. So we have a like cropped tank top, and it's this crushed velvet, this like golden crushed velvet, and it says Foxy on it in diamonds, and all the diamonds are in great condition, and it's got the lettuce hem, and I was like, wow, this is like so, you know, something that people would wear right now. It's probably some, you know, random like Target brand or something like that. And I looked at it, and here we have our paper tag and our embroidered tag. So, yeah, it's vintage. I was pretty shook. I was like, wow, this is OG, isn't it? It is OG indeed. So, these are the things that I love and I enjoy picking up, and I hope you guys enjoyed everything and learned a few things, and my information was helpful to you. If it wasn't, let me know. If it was, let me know. If you hate my face, please don't let me know. So yeah, this is my first video, so be gentle.